Another day of bad weather. Low yet not sub-zero temperatures, high winds and nasty drizzle that went on throughout the entire day. But it was Sunday and I didn't want to miss my usual weekend outing, so eventually I pulled myself together and headed out to my permission. I've been meaning to take my Huben K1 Lite out for a walk for some time now. Just recently I realized that I hadn't shot the poor thing for almost 6 months, so it was about time I did, bad weather or not. And besides, it's a high-end PCP we're talking about, not so easily affected by the cold rain and winds. And neither is the Epic Scope by Valiant, which managed to give me a decent image even in those poor low-light conditions. As soon as I arrived at my permission, I loaded some 38 grain .253 Zandslugs in the Huben mag, and then the waiting game began. But it didn't last for too long. 3 Eurasian doves made the mistake of landing not so far away from me, and as you can imagine, one of them regretted it shortly after. 65 yards to those two. After having waited for almost an entire hour, I realized the rest of the doves and pigeons had learned their lesson for the day. None of them ventured anywhere near the granaries anymore. So I picked up my only catch for the day, and shortly after that I found one of my feline friends.
There is one of my friends over there in the distance. The camera is at 10 times zoom, guys.
Well, this one is much closer, so... Oh, I'm sure she's very hungry.
Since there were no other pest birds landing at that location, I thought I could still make use of the rest of the day by putting the Huben K1 Lite's performance to a small test in those tough weather conditions. So I took out my set of spinner targets, only to realize I had left the can of spray paint at home. The groups from the last time I used this gadget were still quite visible. So instead of spray painting the spinners, I decided to put some sticker targets on them.
Yeah, you're gonna have to forgive me for the bad quality. There's already some drops of water on the lens of my scope, and the spinners are moving due to the wind. Really bad weather today. Just as I suspected, with the first shot the sticker target is gone. I'm gonna have to wait a while until they stop moving. Okay, let's try the smallest one. There you go. I think this one was dead center. I missed, or it was the wind. Whoops. Now I'm not going to shoot this one anymore, because otherwise I'm just going to bend it. Now, as you can see, the entire target is tilted and I think it's leaning on the wall behind it. But I'll try several shots in quick succession on the largest of the spinners. Okay, let's straighten this thing up. The shots on the smallest of spinners are here and here, which is pretty good. I'm really not sure what happened to the one in the middle. I think it was hit here. And the largest of spinners was hit here and here, which is also very good considering the weather conditions. Soon after I started, this entire target assembly leaned back because the Huben packs quite a punch, so I couldn't fire as quickly as I wanted to initially.
And lastly, to all the people disapproving my actions and asking me in the most vulgar way why I do what I do. Here's just one example amongst many which took place in Stuttgart, Germany just a couple of weeks ago. More than 200 drivers were trapped for 5 hours in an underground parking lot due to corrosive pigeon droppings short-circuiting the control box of the roller exit door. The motorists were trapped until the early hours of the next day when firefighters arrived and freed them by sawing the metal door open like a tin can. However, I'm absolutely certain most haters will be unable to put themselves in the place of those people trapped in the parking lot, or the owners of the place and the losses they suffered.